like, yeah, I spent 6 months overclocking. I finally have 250 FPS. I guess I can't blame myself anymore. Now I only have Activision to blame for shitty map optimization. Changing more than one thing at a time. The easiest one, dude. Literally. Results in less wasted time. Which you wouldn't think, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to change 5 things at once. Yeah, but then what if it errors out? You don't know which one of those changes resulted in the error, right? Prime 95 small. I don't know where that came from, dude. That could be one of the mistakes. Let's add that onto the list right now. Over stressing for stability testing. Dude, I've had CPUs degrade from using Prime. You don't need that shit, dude. Over stressing for I gotta reduce this fucking font here. Jesus. There we go. That's much more. Prime small, not necessary. Lin pack, not necessary. Play game, see what happens. Or you know what? How actually I would word that? What is the goal of the overclock? Right? If goal is game, play game for test. Stability test. And overclockers will argue this to this. No, just because it's game stable doesn't mean it's stable. Cool story, bro. I don't fucking care. I play games. I don't play Cinebench, right? If goal is, I don't know why prime would be a goal, but if goal is prime small, then that's your goal. Then you overclock to make it prime small stable. So like prime small stable doesn't have anything to do with game stable, right? So I get that in my consults all the time too, right? So when I get a consult, the first thing I ask, what is the goal of the machine? They always say gaming, right? Which most of the time it is. Maybe 10% of the time, the guy says gaming, but the second I'm done, he goes into Prime and Cinebench and shit, right? Which I can kind of tell those people who they are, right? I'm like, are you sure? Are you interested in doing synthetic stress tests and benchmarks? Because that overclock is different from the one that I would do for gaming, which it is. It depends on your cooling. It depends on what your thermal paste you're using, right? So like this, you can dive so deep into this, man. Okay, if you're if you're playing Warzone, okay, you're using thermal. I don't want to fucking advertise. Let's say you're just using some Amazon paste, okay, some Amazon thermal paste. Now, this Amazon shitty thermal paste has a thermal transfer of, like, let's say 6 watts per meter Kelvin, okay? I'm gonna move myself over here so you guys can see a bit better. Now, this paste that you bought, this shitty ass paste, might be okay for gaming, might not be okay for Cinebench, and here's why, right? So let's say I'm gonna use a 10900K for an example, okay? Let's say the 10900K, let's say you have it at 1.35 volts, 5.2 gigahertz. And let's say you're playing Warzone and the game is running at like 65 Celsius, okay? On average. When you run Cinebench, this will go to 95 Celsius. The higher the temperature, the more V-core you need to make it stable. So, but let's say you had liquid metal instead of the shitty Amazon paste, then this would stay stable in Cinebench. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right? If the thermal transfer can keep the temperature at 65 Celsius, no matter the workload, plus your cooling capabilities of your system, then 1.35 remains stable. If you're using Amazon paste and this shoots up to 95 Celsius, now you might need 1.38 or 1.39 to maintain that stability. So, when you're overclocking your system, you have a goal in mind. You don't overclock with a certain game in mind, and then you go run Cinebench after. You're gonna run into problems. You know what I'm saying? You know how I would say this? Overclock for your goal. There you go. Done. Just like to say, just like if you like Cinebench, you're not gonna sit in the timing screen for fucking 10 hours because memory timings doesn't do anything for Cinebench. It all, you know what I'm saying? Overclock for your app that you want to fucking run, right? So, big fucking mistake. And you can't blame people for this because every fucking idiot on Reddit's like, unless it's prime stable. You know, that's another good one. Do not compare numbers with Redditors or other people online. Never. 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 Easy. Easy. Don't do it. The reason why you never, ever, ever, ever compare your numbers with other people online. 99% of numbers that you see are horse shit. Just straight up. It's just straight up. That goes for the FPS world. That goes for the overclocking world. That goes for the exos. Any industry where you want to compare something, the numbers are horse shit. 99% of the time. So you go to overclocking forums. Someone's like, oh, God, people are so fucking crazy, dude. Okay. Think of it this way. When somebody posts their numbers online, they must have a goal of why they're doing it. Just think about it. When somebody goes on an overclocking forum and they're like, my 10900K does 5.5 gigahertz at 1.1 volt. What is this guy's goal in posting that in an overclocking forum? He just wants people to suck his dick. That's all it is. It's literally all it is. He just wants the dick sucked. So you cannot compare it. It's wrong. It's fake. Now, that's why comparing is a fucking. And then you as a newcomer, you feel like you're doing something wrong because the numbers that you see online are so exorbitant that you're like, how the fuck are all these people running 10 gigahertz at 1 volt and I can't even do 1 gigahertz 5 volts? Like, do you know what I mean? It's all lies, dude. It's all fucking lies. All of it. It's all fucking lies. Don't do it. Just stay the fuck off of forums. Join the Discord and you'll find the right information in there. Bragging rights to other guys that want their dick sucked. It's super weird. Imagine wanting bragging rights to some random strangers online. It's incredibly weird. When people post their KDs, what's the goal? They want their dick sucked. You didn't see that dude played 100 games and got 1 kill But the one game that he gets like 10 kills, he posts it online. Okay? It's a lie. It's a fucking lie, okay? When optimizers post their FPS numbers, what is the goal? Advertising for their services. When you see some dude looking out onto the ocean with 1,000 FPS, and you're like, oh, 1,000 FPS, what is the goal? It's a fucking lie. He needs customers. He needs to make his product look as good as possible to attract customers. Always ask, what is the goal? So when you're comparing your numbers to somebody else's, FPS wise, and you have like half the FPS of the optimizer guy, ask yourself, does that seem genuine or realistic? Or is it marketing? Okay? Just so when I say never ever compare your numbers, this goes for all numbers. All numbers, dude. RAM timings. Voltages. Even, dude, even just like pricing on things. Like, oh, I got my 30. Some people are weird like that too. I got my 3080 Ti for $1,000. Like, cool story, bro. Why are you telling me? No one fucking cares. You know what I mean? Like, people are super weird about that shit. Don't, what else can you not compare? Fucking, even just like in-game settings. In-game settings. You can't compare that either. Maybe your eyes see colors differently than somebody else's, man. Don't do it. Don't compare. Compare nothing. I don't see how this is related to overclocking now, but that is what it is now. Don't ever compare your fucking numbers. Ever. You're like your neighbor buys a new lawnmower. It has 1 more horsepower than yours does. It's like, oh, my lawnmower has 1 more horsepower. How much horsepower does your lawnmower have? My lawnmower cuts my grass just fine, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Like, my dick size is not attributed to my lawnmower horsepower. I'm good. How about you just be secure with yourself and not have to feel superior to others with a new lawnmower? It's okay. It's not that serious. It's fine. Okay, let me catch up. Oh yeah, fake natty. Oh yeah, yeah. I won't even get into fitness though. 99% of the fitness YouTubers you see are all on steroids too, but they can't say that they are, right? Don't compare yourself to them. I learned that the hard way too. Well, even when I got down to like 6.5% body fat, and I didn't look anything like those fucking dudes on YouTube. I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Don't compare yourself. Don't worry about it. It's not that serious. Do not take advice from XOC people. That doesn't apply to all XOC people. Only like the majority of them. Some of them do play games, right? This is the biggest problem. How do you know who to take advice from? You don't. But I also don't have an answer for you either. You know what I mean? Except for our Discord, literally. But I don't, but that doesn't help people, right? I need like I need a generic answer to give people. I don't know how the hell. You know what? That actually brings up a good question. If you were to start learning how to overclock now in 2021, I don't know how you would start. I literally don't. Has anybody started that shit recently? Yeah, it seems like everybody, maybe you know what the other problem is? Everyone that's in this chat right now is just learning because you're a part of this community. So it's like a biased question, right? I'm like, how did you guys learn how to overclock? And then you can chat. You guys are all like, we're in your Discord, bro. It's like, oh yeah, fuck. I guess it doesn't really work, does it? Because everyone's just learning in the Discord, so that doesn't really work. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to suggest that, dude. Maybe we'll just write that down as it is. Top 5 overclocking noob overclocking mistakes. Not being in the Frame Chasers Discord. No one's provided me with a better answer than that. Do you know what I'm saying? I literally spent the last like 20 minutes looking for a better answer than that, and no one came up with one, dude. I don't know. Oh, it's the same thing why you can't compare your numbers. 99% of the overclocking info is wrong or not applicable to gaming. It's as simple as that. Usually you'll find information from like XOC dudes trying to get like 30 nanoseconds with like 2 volts VDIM and shit. It's not applicable to gaming, right? Or, you know what else is kind of fucked up? Purposely being misled. That's a big one. That usually happens from hardware nerds, though, where they will purposely hold back information or mislead you in some way because they like holding the secrets. That happens all the fucking time, too, right? This happens in my Discord, too. I ban these people. I'm like, you need to share the information or get the fuck out. Why are you being weird about it? Oh, I'm using this custom BIOS that I found, but I don't want to tell you what version it is. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? So it doesn't like I don't catch it all the time, but when I do, these people are gone, right? So the Discord still is the best place to learn. Dude, all the other optimizers that you see out there are all banned from my Discord because they know this is the best place to learn, right? 100%. This is the reason why my channel is growing so fast in the first place, though, because nobody does this. So there we go. That's the answer, right? So where do you learn how to overclock? The Frame Chasers Discord is the answer, because this is the only place on the internet that does it with gaming as the goal. It is the only fucking place on the internet. Absolutely. So you know what? It is. If you want to learn, get your fucking ass in there. Get a gifted sub from one of these dudes. What Mozix and Rems gifted like 100 subs today already. So for you new guys, get in the Discord. You have 30 days to fucking learn before your shit expires. Get in there. It's the best place to learn, man. So I was gonna say, don't get obsessed with Windows optimizations. You know what? I'm gonna go with that one. I think a lot of newcomers just get completely absorbed and obsessed with Windows optimizations. With Windows optimizations. It's yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Sebash, because Sebash is a guy that will spend like 10 hours on ISLC latency optimizers, which don't fucking do anything, but he just needs it. You know what I mean? He fucking needs that shit. So like, just don't do that. It's fucking useless. You know what I mean? Hang on, let me catch up here. Don't rely on motherboard OC. That is a good one. That's like a bonus. Okay, bonus. Never use auto, anything. Just don't do it. Never. Will fry your shit. Just never. Just don't do it. In BIOS, I should say. Yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it. Except for like AMD PBO. But even that's kind of sketchy, man. Sometimes if you're like an ASRock motherboard and you enable PBO, that shit throws like 1.4 volts into your chip, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what? Yeah, never use auto. Just to be safe. Just never use auto in anything. Okay. That's a good one, actually. Okay. Doesn't do anything. Just straight up. Windows optimizations don't fucking do anything. Time is better spent getting better at the game. Overclock your gameplay. Reinstalling fresh Windows does it all. Oh, fuck. Stop worrying about driver versions. Holy shit. Stop. Never install ISLC or any latency garbage. Just don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. What else we got here? Have a fucking goal in mind when starting your overclocking journey. How about that? No one ever has a fucking goal. I feel like all the things that we covered were because people just don't have a goal to begin with. Do you know what I'm saying? What's the goal? Pick a certain FPS number that you need in a certain game and overclock to achieve that goal. So if your goal is 200 FPS in Warzone, overclock as far as you need to until you get it. Then you're good to go. Go back to play. That's it. If overclocking, okay, here's okay. If overclocking itself is the goal, you're in the wrong community. Is what I would say. You need to go to like Lumi, Buildzoid, and like the XOC guys. That's more of a community for you. That's not like a shit talking. I'm just like being genuine, because like those guys enjoy BIOS screens. They're sitting, they come home after a long day of work and they're like, I'm gonna jump in a BIOS screen, and that brings them joy and fun and pleasure. That's a totally different community. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what the weird thing is? People that enjoy that join our community. And I don't know why. There are better communities that suit you more that you can join. Like, just hit up Buildzoid's Discord, man. You can talk about BIOS screens all day long. Those people love that shit, dude. Like, so, but and that again, that's not me condescending or shit talking. So if overclocking itself is the actual goal, join what the fuck? Join an overclocking focused community. What? Yeah. Why is this not a viable option? Right? Because if you talk about BIOS screens a lot in my Discord, we'll just make fun of you for not playing the fucking game. Right? Because you're spending so much time on a BIOS screen that little Timmy on his Xbox is gonna melt your fucking face as soon as you touch any game. So then what was the point of all that work in a BIOS screen? In our community, we overclock as a means to an end to play the game. Do you know what I mean? I overclock so that I can see my opponent before he sees me. That was always the goal. Since the days of Counter-Strike 1.4, when I was a kid, I'm like, I need to see him before he sees me. I thought overclocking was cheating, dude. You know what I'm saying? And in a certain capacity, it is. If you can see your opponent before he sees you, that's an unfair advantage. That's what I always overclocked for. I need that advantage. I always wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my community. We overclock so that we can get the advantage over our opponents, right? But if you have no interest in getting, like, playing games, there's better communities out there. What the hell are you doing in ours? There's better ones, right? Yeah, dude, that's funny. That's funny. It's like, dude, Sebastian's fucking hilarious. It's like, yeah, I spent 6 months overclocking. I finally have 250 FPS. I guess I can't blame myself anymore. Now I only have Activision to blame for shitty map optimization. It's like, yeah, I just gotta. It's like the totem pole of graduation goes for denial and blame as well, right? Hang on, we'll do that. We'll do that before we fucking call it. We should do the top 5 denial. Oh, that's another good video idea. Maybe we'll do that on Tuesday, right? The top 5 denial. It's like 6 months latency nerding. It's like, oh, you're still dog shit at the game. 6 months blaming the devs. Still getting raped by Timmy. This is my denial. 6 months of controller fucking blaming. I'm here. I'm 1 level up, okay? Still getting raped by Jimmy. Timmy's brother. You know, it's just all fucking different levels, my man. It's just different levels. I don't know what's after controller, right? Lag. Tick rate is a good one, right? There's a lot of good ways to blame shit. A lot of good teammates. Oh, I'm here too, man. Oh, I'm always here. Dude, I've been here for 10 years. I've been stuck blaming teammates for 10 years, dude. I never succeeded at esports because of teammates, dude. Where's the audio is legit though? That's actually fucking legit. Like the audio thing, Newman. Oh yeah, dude. That's not even denial. That's like I didn't hear those fucking footsteps. Where was the fucking audio? And without dead silence too. That's legit, dude. Anyway, boys, that was fucking funny. Anyway, boys, that was a hell of a good stream, man.